Okay, thank you. Senator Portman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Gentlemen, I will not prolong this because it looks like I may be between you and a much-deserved break for lunch. First of all, thank you for your testimony today. I had two other hearings, so I bounced around a little, but got to hear some of the opening, and I also listened to Senator McCain in his opening. He talked a little about the increasing reports of a link between al-Qaeda and Iran. And Director Clapper, last year, the Treasury Department designated a number of high-ranking members of al-Qaeda who operate a facilitation network from inside of Iran. There was a press release announcing the designations from David Cohen, the Undersecretary. He says, and I quote, "Iran is the leading sponsor of state-sponsored terrorism in the world today. By exposing Iran's secret deal with al-Qaeda and allowing it to funnel funds and operatives through its territory, we are illuminating yet another aspect of Iran's unmatched support for terrorism." That's a pretty troubling statement. What's your understanding of this secret deal, so-called, between Iran and al-Qaeda?
Iran and al-Qaeda have had sort of a, to a certain extent, a shotgun marriage. I think the Iran has harbored al-Qaeda leaders, facilitators, but under house arrest conditions. Remembering, of course, that Iran is a Shia state and al-Qaeda is Sunni, so they don't agree ideologically in the first place. I think Iran was, of course, pays attention to our pursuit of al-Qaeda and what we've done in Afghanistan and Iraq, next door neighbors to them. So, on the one hand, they have had this sort of standoff arrangement with the al-Qaeda, allowing them to exist there, but not to foment any operations directly from Iran, because they're very sensitive about, hey, we might come after them there as well. So there's been this long-standing, as I say, kind of shotgun marriage, or a marriage of convenience. I think probably the Iranians may think that they might use perhaps al-Qaeda in the future as a surrogate or proxy.
Would they think, Mr. Director, that they might use them as a hedge against an attack from the West?
That's what I meant. They may have that in mind for future use, but I think for now, and the history has been that they have not allowed them to operate freely in Iran.
And you think they have not allowed them to conduct operations using Iran as a platform?
I don't think they have, sir. Not directly.
On al-Qaeda generally?
Not in the sense that they say from by core al-Qaeda in Pakistan.
Speaking of core al-Qaeda and core al-Qaeda leadership, it seems as though some significant progress has been made. Your statements today say that there's a diminishing operational importance of the core al-Qaeda leadership and that they play an increasingly symbolic role.
That assumes we sustain the pressure on them, though.
Okay. That's one of my questions. Having dedicated a lot of resources to that effort over the years to go after the core leadership, and we have had success in attriting their numbers and their role, what do you think our resource level needs to be going forward? And what happens to the lower level of al-Qaeda in Pakistan if the final elements of the core leadership are taken out?
Well, and they're about down to that. I think what we have to ensure is that they don't regenerate, that they don't recruit and continue to operate there. So we will always have to be vigilant to prevent a recurrence or regeneration of al-Qaeda leadership, centering its planning and operational planning from the safe haven in Pakistan.
If we are successful in the continued effort, how would you prioritize resources that we are currently using targeting the core? Would you think those resources would have to continue to be devoted to the al-Qaeda threat, or would you?
Well, yes, sir, because of the franchises, so-called, notably AQAP, which currently we view as the primary threat to the homeland because of their planning and intent to attack either in Europe or homeland United States. Then there are the variants in AQIM and in Africa. So as these franchises emerge, drawing on the ideology of Al-Qaeda, wherever they are, I think we will always be in the mode of being vigilant to their reemergence.
I thank you, and General Burgess, thank you for your leadership with NASIC and all the other intel work that your folks are doing to provide us with the information that we need as a country to be able to respond to these threats. As a ranking member of Emerging Threats Subcommittee, I'm continually impressed by the good work of your folks. So thank you for that. And Mr. Chairman, I'm going to allow these witnesses who have spent a lot of time here today the opportunity now to take a much-deserved break.